Hello, 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 everybody. It's Lisa Anderson, Strategic Business Advisor and Virtual CFO with Anavo Transformation Solutions and your $1 million mentor. And I'm just going to check really quickly to make certain that you can hear me because I've been having problems with my technology all day. So I just want to make sure that you can hear what I'm saying. So give me one quick second so I can check that. And sometimes that's not even easy because I stream this stuff all over the place. So now I got to figure out where I am. So give me one quick second. Yes, you can hear me. Awesome. So again, I'm Lisa Anderson, strategic business advisor and virtual CFO with Anavo Transformation Solutions and your $1 million mentor. And it's September 1st. Can you believe it? So I announced last week and also in my newsletter recently that I am on hiatus. The Scale to Seven Figures $1 million masterclass and $1 million fireside chats are on hiatus for the month of September as we get ready to gear up for new programming, new guests, new conversations, a new season. And so we are not doing the conversations every Wednesday, at least not this month. We will be back on tap in October. We'll also have new locations where you can find us. But nonetheless, I wanted to come on. I could not let September 1st come and go without jumping in and having some conversation with my audience about what this means and where we are. So September 1, significant, right? It's a very important moment. It's a very important time. It's, we just need to be tuned in and tapped in right now and ready to rock and roll. So I always call September back to school, back to business. So the kids are back in school. So everybody's back at school now, whether it is virtual or in the space or kind of a hybrid. The kids are back in school, which means that we can focus in on business a little bit more and really dive into, preparing for this next season. So September is back to school and back to business. September is also the end of the federal government's fiscal year. And that's an important time as well because it is spending season for the federal government. And as I always say, leadership sets the tone for everything. And so the federal government happens to be the leadership here in the United States and in some cases abroad. And so when they are in spending season, guess what happens right behind that is that everybody else is in spending season. And so it's time for us to really, as business owners, pay attention. It's also the end of a calendar quarter. It's the end of the third quarter. We're about to embark upon the final quarter of the year and step into a brand new season being fall, season being, in a hot second, it'll be winter. It'll almost be Christmas soon. But nonetheless, we are stepping into a new season. 2020, I don't know what to say about this, but 2020, this year that has just been shaking the tree, shaking the limbs, allowing the tree to grab new roots and new limbs and get rid of the old stuff and grow a mass. That's what 2020 has been about. That's how I've been looking at it. And while we have really, really lost some significant icons and some significant individuals, and maybe even some significance in our lives as well as in our businesses, it is the season. Every 10 years there's something that really just upsets the apple cart, and 2020 just upset the apple cart. But what happens behind that is a whole lot of growth. I want you to know that. But as we step into this new season, 2020 is headed out the door. So I think we can get ready to say bye-bye to some of the crazy happenings that we've experienced all year long. So really at the end of the day, it is time to get ready. So what do we get ready for? We get ready for a whole lot of stuff between now and the end of the year. It's so important, so significant. That's why I could not let this day go by. And I'm going to pop in from time to time between now and the end of this month just to provide some tips and things that you should be thinking about as you prepare to step away and step into a new season. So right here on my board behind me, I have a few questions that are extremely important. I ask my clients these questions when we speak. I've been asking small businesses that I've been consulting through the SBA program that I'm working on these questions as well. So I want to ask you these questions. The first question is extremely important. It is the question of every day, the question of every day. And that question is, what are you doing with your 90 minutes today? What are you doing with your 90 minutes today? If you don't know me, then you don't know about 90 minutes and why that's important. But if you're in the process of growing a business as a business owner, you need to be spending 90 minutes every single day focused on growth, revenue, connecting, and creating new relationships and pursuing new opportunities. 90 minutes every single day. So, what are you doing with your 90 minutes today? Next question is the question of the month. This happens to be last month's question. I haven't put up a question for September yet, but last month's question is, how are you being agile? Remember, August was all about agility and as small businesses. That is one of our assets, is being agile. So how are you being agile? The question of the year, and actually the question of a business lifetime, is how are you protecting your legacy? How are you protecting your legacy? These are questions that you need to be asking yourself on a regular basis. That's why it's on my board. That's why, I keep it up front and center. That's why I ask clients these questions all the time. And then the bonus question is, what is your $1 million proposition right now? What is your $1 million proposition? So I want you guys to write those questions down. I want you to remember them. I want you to think about them. And if you feel like it, drop the comments in the chat below to let me know what the answer is to these questions for you. But before I go, I want to leave a tip with you for today. And this is the first tip of September. And I'm going to start by first reading an excerpt from my favorite book, which is the John Maxwell Daily Reader. And this is what September 1st has to say. And this is very, very relevant. It says, if your friends aren't friends, make new friends. If your friends aren't friends, make new friends. So he says, if the people close to you are dragging you down, then it may be time to make some changes. He also goes on to say that you may need to build a beautiful house, but eventually it will crumble. You may develop a fine career, but one day it will be over. You may save a great sum of money, but you can't take it with you. At the end of the day, don't get discouraged. You need to make certain that you have new friends. He says that if the people close to you aren't adding value, if they're not adding value to your life, consider making some new friends. So, Lisa, what in the world does that have to do with business? What does that have to do with September? What does that have to do with planning season? What does that have to do with this new calendar quarter? What does it have to do with anything? And my answer to you is it has something to do with everything. Another thing that you need to know about me is I honestly believe, and I will tell you, that I grew my business from startup to multiple millions in revenue by simply tapping into my network. My network is my net worth, and so is yours. So I always make certain that I check who's around me. I started today, September 1st, 8:30 this morning. I tagged up with a strategic partner, a very good friend. We just had virtual coffee together just to talk about what he's up to, what I'm up to, and what we could be up to together. So it's very, very important that you take time to tap into those friendships and those alignments. So I want to talk about three parts of the spectrum, right? And how this is relevant. So one part of the spectrum is an email that I just literally got 20 minutes ago. And it's from a client that is asking about a relationship that they've had in place, they had intact. They did something for someone that they thought was a strategic partner. And that strategic partner agreed to a few things as a result of this individual speaking on their platform. After they spoke, after they brought their network, their connections to the platform, and after they spoke, after everything was said and done, the other party reneged on what they said that they would do. My answer, their question to me is, what should I do about it? My answer is find new friends. This is not a good strategic partnership. It's not a good strategic alignment. Find a new friend. If you did not get the agreement in writing, unfortunately, there's not much that you can do about it. You have to weigh whether or not the relationship or the reputation is worth arguing about this, or just simply move on, chalk it up as a lesson, make certain you get things in writing moving forward, but vet the value of the relationships that you have in place. So my answer to that question is find a new friend. On the opposite end of the spectrum is woohoo! Congratulations, Stephanie, on what you posted in the group today and signing that great opportunity. Stephanie found some new friends, y'all. She found some new friends, and that is creating great opportunity for her and her business. Who you have surrounded around you matters. The strategic alignments matter. Another business that I counsel today, that is what I told them. They're starting out, and their fastest path to cash is to tap into their network. So make a list of everybody you know and consider how they can spread the word, how they can maybe interested in buying from you, or how they can refer you. Start thinking about that first. That is your fastest path to cash. And so, Stephanie, congratulations for having yourself surrounded by some phenomenal people, because that is creating opportunities for you. And then there's the person in the middle. The person in the middle has created new friendships, new relationships, new alignments. They have had an opportunity to pitch themselves in their business. They thought that this was turning out into being a great opportunity, but instead the opportunity, the person said no. Not a bad relationship at all. What that is a spark of a new relationship. While you may not have received that opportunity, guess what? You just got your foot in the door, and it's an opportunity to build upon that great relationship. They may lead to other opportunities. So I'm going to leave you today with the business tip of today as it relates to preparing for this new season, ending this season, this old season, and stepping into growth and business opportunities, is to make certain that you know who you are surrounded with. So if your friends aren't friends, make new friends. So I hope you guys are doing well. I miss you already, even though I haven't had the first Wednesday of the month just yet. But I look forward to dropping in sporadically between now and the end of the month, just to give you some tips to keep you fresh and help you continue to move forward and stay focused on your $1 million propositions. And I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Take care.